Hey everybody, welcome back to Rides and Rigs. We're going to try working on this old AE86 again and see if we can get it started. I think we're going to do a compression test and change the spark plugs, and if the compression test comes back the way I think it might, we'll probably pull the valve cover and see what that all looks like under there. But before we do that, I need to fix this light that's hanging off over here, see if we can get that taken care of because I'm tired of looking at it. Well, that certainly doesn't fix any of our major problems, but I do feel a little better about it anyways. Let's get this hood open and get started. Well, they all came out nice and easy, and they don't look terrible. They don't look real good either. Let's get this compression test started. All right. We're going to hold the throttle wide open and keep the fuel and ignition off to make sure we're getting all the air in and see what our numbers are here. We've got 155 pounds on cylinder 1. £150 on cylinder 2. So far, so good. $145, $148 maybe on cylinder 3. And $155 on cylinder 4. All right, that's actually better than I expected. So we'll pull this apart, put some new spark plugs in it. We'll try it again, see how it acts, and go from there. Now, somebody may complain that I'm not gapping these plugs, but as many times as I've put plugs in this car and checked these, I've always found them to be pretty accurate as far as the spec that we run. And trusting in NGK's quality control, I am not even going to bother trying to gap these plugs because I know they're going to be close enough to get us where we need to go. To say that it is warm in Tennessee here today would be an understatement. It is quite toasty out here. Just having a quick look inside the boots here. Everything looks good. Let's see if she'll play nicely today. Can't forget the handy fire extinguisher here. Okay, it would seem that she is still not happy. Not on fire, so that's a good start. The timing should be set properly, but I'm not sure where my timing light is, so we're going to try bringing it back just a little bit. We'll just bump that back a few degrees and see how it acts now. Okay, that wasn't it either. Well, I'm not sure I like the amount of air that's coming through that PCV tube, so let's cap that off and see how it acts. Come on now, girl, give me something to work with. No, not yet. Well, we've reset the carburetor settings now. And we're going to cap off this brake booster hose as well to make sure that that's also not an issue. Okay, still not happy, still not on fire. All right, let's check the crank cam timing. Well, everything looks good there. I think we'll pull this valve cover off and see what's going on under there. Well, I'm certainly not seeing anything out of the ordinary here. Valve clearances feel like they should. The timing belt is a touch looser than I'd like it to be, so I'm going to try and add a little bit of tension here. That feels a little better. I'm going to take a little bit of fuel out of the carburetor to see if that helps. I don't believe that's what she wanted. Let's move the timing back a little bit. It would help a lot if I read the number on the tool I picked up. She was quite a bit happier about that. Let's do a little bit more adjusting. I'm going to add a tiny bit more fuel. And we'll try getting it a little bit more idle. We'll see how she feels about that now. I think we're making progress. Let's give the timing another bump. Hey everybody, editing Mike here. Someone, not naming names, forgot to turn on the mic for the last segment of this video. So I'm going to try and sum it up for you briefly. I think now is a great time to bring up the tattoos on my wrists. You may have seen them in the videos before. Here's a picture of the design. These tattoos are an ambigram. They read the same whether I'm looking at them or you are across from me. From left to right, they read slow is smooth and smooth is fast. I like this as a reminder to myself that sometimes we have to slow down and figure out what we're doing before we can become proficient and expedient. This becomes relative to what happened with this car. There are two things that I messed up while putting this carburetor back together. In the last video, I asked if you caught the dumb mistake that I had made. Well, what I had done is put the float back in the carburetor upside down. So when the fuel filled up the bowl, the float couldn't close the needle to stop the flow of fuel. And what that did was to overflow fuel out of the overflow tube into the secondary venturi. Now, fortunately, the secondary venturi is a pretty tight seal. None of the fuel made it into the intake manifold, so I didn't soak the engine or the cylinders in gasoline. The second mistake that I made, found out today after I took a little nap and had some time to think about it. I sleep during the day because I work nights. What I did was put the auxiliary venturi in backwards, and I think I missed the orifice in the auxiliary venturi because the part is symmetrical from side to side, and I wasn't paying attention well enough. So the main jet for the primary venturi was not flowing any fuel. I've reset the carburetor back to known good specs that I had written down. Now let's jump back in and see if she's going to fire up for us. I feel pretty confident about this one. Well, what do you know about that? When you take your time and you do it right, it works out. I'm going to move this thing around because I've got some other projects to get started on here. We'll jump back into this here pretty soon. But right now, I think we're done. If you enjoy this content and would like to see more of it, hit the subscribe button down below. Also, feel free to leave a like and a comment to let me know how I'm doing. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.